everybody. Banjo Ben here at banjobenclark.com. This is your home to learn how to play banjo, guitar, and mandolin. This week we're continuing this fiddle tune series for Cold Frosty Morning, sometimes just called Frosty Morning. This one is a lot of fun. We're in a different tuning. We're using a capo, we're doing melodic licks, and we're also working in the harmony. So there's a lot going on here, and I want to talk about just the basic melody and how to create melodic licks to build around that basic melody, and then talk a bit about the banjo harmony, of course. If you're watching somewhere else beside the website, I'd love for you to come on board, banjobenclark.com. You can join as a Gold Pick member, have access to hundreds of lessons on all three instruments, and you also get tabs and jam tracks for this song. I'd love to have you there. Come check it out. Let's jump right into this tune. Before we jump into this one, let's just cover a few things about the tune itself. First thing is that Cold Frosty Morning is going to follow that very typical fiddle tune structure where you have an A part that's 8 measures long, and then we'll repeat it. And then it'll go into a B part that has a little different chord progression, a little different melody. It's 8 measures, and then we'll repeat that. Now, you heard the difference between the two parts. The first one starts out with that real minor, sad sound. And then the second part goes right into that major. And then comes back into the minor. It kind of throws your ear for a loop, and I love it. And I thought about which position should I use to play this song out of. Now, I'm teaching this on guitar, and I don't use a capo on it. We're going to play it out of that open A position. But this one, I wanted to use that because we're going to need a lot of the open strings for the melodic stuff. But I wanted to go a step further and try a minor tuning. So we're going to use what I just call G minor tuning. We're going to take the second string and tune it down a half step. So you'll take that B note, go down to B flat. Then we're going to take our capo, we're going to run it up to the second fret. So we change that G minor to what? We change it to A minor. Then we're going to take our fifth string. What are we going to do with it? We're going to spike it or capo it under the 7th fret, under an A note. So now it's just like you're in the key of A major, except you have that down-tuned second string. Here's what your strings sound like. You can play these one by one and get tuned up with me. Now, I have to admit, this threw me for a loop as I was trying to write this version, especially the harmony part, and especially using these melodic licks, because my brain's not used to thinking about that second string being tuned down a half step. So we're going to kind of ease into that. And the first thing that I want to do is I just want to look at the very basic melody. Which notes do we need to include to make Cold Frosty Morning indeed be called Cold Frosty Morning? And then I want to talk about how to get some of these licks using melodic stuff, and then we'll jump into the harmony and stuff. Check it out. The first line of the fiddle tune, we've got it broken down just to the basic melody, what I call target notes. It looks like this. Then a little melodic run. Then it will go to 2 measures of what I call F. Now, granted, it's really a G chord, but since we're capoed up, we're playing out of an F position. That's the name of the chord that I'm going to use. A little bit of repeating on the next line. Then we will repeat that part. That's the whole A part. We'll play that again, and then it goes into a B part. Sounds like this. And that's the B part, and we'll repeat that. Let's do this. Let me play through that target note version just one time through the A part and then right into a B part. We won't do the repeats, just so you can hear that, start to get it in your mind, and then we'll talk about how to turn some of those single string runs into melodic runs. 1, 2, ready, go. Now onto the B part. Now those are all the notes that we need to have for this to indeed be called Cold Frosty Morning. Now there's lots of white space in there, isn't there? So there's lots of quarter notes, half notes, where there could be more eighth notes. And we can also, instead of playing those single string runs up like we would play it on the guitar, we can use our open strings to our advantage and get some melodic runs. Let's take a look at how we might do that. For instance, in the first line of the A part, we have this lick sounds like this. Look at measure 35. So, of course, we could continue to single string pick that like I've showed you there, or we can take advantage of some melodic positions. Jumping up, use our ring finger on the 7th fret, and get this exact same notes like this. And that's actually a little faster to play, a little less choppy sounding too. Same notes, just getting them different ways. Same thing, whenever we go to that F chord, we have that run. That's what we see in measure 37. We can also get that melodically. Okay, so we have this understanding that we can take these basic target notes, use melodic positions to get some of these runs. We're still going to have to do a little bit of single string to get the notes in that I want to, and that's in fact quite fun. And then we're going to fill in some of these white spaces, I can just call them that. We have a lot of white space on the tab there that a lot of notes could go, and where do those notes come from? We'll create some rolls to help fill that in. Check out the solo.